Everybody, and welcome back to Google Drive in Under 5. My name is Jeff Bradbury. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today we're going to be looking at Google Calendar settings and finding out how we can customize our Google Calendar experience for your personal needs. In order to find the settings, I'm going to come up here over the gear box and I'm going to drop down into Settings. Now, there's 4 different tabs here under settings, and it's interesting to know that these are general settings. There's also individual settings for each calendar, and we're going to discuss those later in this video. So first, I'm under general, and very quickly here, we've got language, country, time zone. These are things that we can automatically set. We have date format. Do you want it to be month, day, year, or some other form of date? We have time format if we want it in standard or military time. We can do browser notifications. Browser notifications are going to come up here in the top right of your screen, and they're going to let you know when we have calendar events. That's a new feature that's been added. Do we want to add events from Gmail? Absolutely. So that way when you get an email message and click on yes, it automatically pops up. Default event duration. Some people want to do 30 minutes. Some people do 60. That's just the default. We can change those constantly. You can say my week starts on Sunday, Monday, or Saturday. So for instance, if you're in a school district and you want everything to be week first, weekend last, you can have it Monday through Friday with Saturday and Sunday at the end, or you can have it be a Sunday to Saturday calendar. Working hours is really neat because you can actually choose when you're working, so visually you can see when things are going to be in your calendar or out of your calendar. Event dimming dims the past event. So anything that happened from yesterday behind, the colors are still going to be there, but they're not going to be as bright. So visually you can see where you are in your calendar. And also here we have show weekends in a box. We have default view, custom view. We can do 4-day, 5-day, 6-day. We can show you how that one works too. Location, you can automatically have up. And we have a few other things here that I generally don't do, which is show my weather based on location. I can certainly put a little weather app on here, or I can do an alternate calendar. And this is great if you're working with people in different time zones. You can have your New York calendar and your European calendar up. So that way, if you're trying to set up an appointment, maybe for a mystery Skype or for a long distance business meeting, you know exactly where their calendar is. So that's everything under general. Under calendars here, I'm going to click and see all the different calendars that I have. Now, perhaps you've got several calendars that people have shared with you, or maybe that were created from items like Google Classroom, and you don't want to see all of these things. You can certainly take this show in list and you can check on or check off. I know some of these sometimes can be a little annoying. Things like birthdays, you don't necessarily need to see them all. So I sometimes check this off under the show in list. Same thing over here. If I don't necessarily want to see all the holidays, I can do that. I also have the option here of browsing interesting calendars. So I can see holiday calendars. I can see sports calendars. Perhaps I want to see all the Major League Baseball ones. I can subscribe to the Boston Red Sox calendar, and all of their games will show up on my calendar. I've also got interesting things like phases of the moon, star dates, Hebrew calendar, sunrise, sunset in my location. Lots of neat things that I can do here with calendars. I have my personal calendar into my mobile phone. So that way, not only do I get notifications by email, I can also get them as text messages. This is all very easy to do. You simply put in your phone number, it sends a verification code, and within a couple seconds, you are connected to your Google Calendar event. Really, really interesting and important to do. If you are using the Google Calendar app, you might not need to use this because then you'll have notifications set up through that. And then finally here, we've got Calendar Labs. Now, this is a way to customize some of the functionalities on here. You'll see what we got here. Some of the important ones that I like to use are background images. So you can add a nice little theme to your Google Calendar, make it look nice and pretty. You can have free or busy, which tells you when your friends are free, perhaps that you are working with a colleague. You can quickly and easily see when that person is free or not. And another neat one that I like here is next meeting. I'm going to actually hit save on all of these things. You can see right now, free or busy. There's nobody here, but this will tell me when my colleague or my family member is free. Over here, I have my tasks. My tasks come in from this task calendar here. And that is a quick walkthrough of the general calendar settings. So that is a walkthrough of the calendar settings for the general Google Calendar application. We're now going to quickly dive in. We have My Calendar, and then we also have their individual calendars. If I click on the triangle here for the individual calendars, I can come down here to Calendar Settings. We're going to cover this in an additional video, but right here you can see you have your individual calendar settings like your name, your description, your location, your calendar address. You can, of course, share individual calendars, edit notifications for individual calendars, and if we want to get rid of a calendar or events, we can trash this as we go. And of course, over here, we have the trash for this calendar featuring all the events that we have deleted. So that's a brief overview of all the settings for Google Calendar. I hope you've enjoyed this. This is Google Drive in under 5. Thank you so much. We hope you've enjoyed this video.